movie review. And this is a low-budget movie from 2008 called Alarm. It's directed by Gerard Steinbridge, who's also responsible for the script. It's a very low-budget movie. Its cast in the lead role is Ruth Bradley. She plays Molly. Aidan Turner is Mal. Owen Rowe plays Joe and Mossy. Tom Hickey is Frank, and Anita Reeves plays Jessie. The setting is Ireland, and it's basically a snapshot of Irish society and a psychological thriller, but the result's a shrill and annoying title. Trainee journalist Molly, played by Bradley, is with a psychiatrist at the beginning, and it basically maps out her life, which is a struggle. So the opening sequence with a psychiatrist, Molly shares with him that she's ready to move on after a violent experience some time ago, which has probably prompted her to need psychiatric help, and she presents as one who's apprehensive but at the same time prepared to move on and to find a house for herself and to restart her life. We then get a dream flashback of the incident that happened, the violent incident, and it suggested it was a burglary of some description. Molly, currently staying with friends, then views a new house. Of course, the salesman does a tremendous job to create this sort of case where if you don't grab it now, it could have been gone. It was the last one. Her friends are not convinced. This is in a new housing development outside Dublin, which would necessitate her commuting. And we then see her imagining a future, an idyllic future, and switch to the party, switch to the post-viewing, but her friends advising that she could stay with them for a while. It's not been long since the violent incident with her father, but Molly is motivated to make that fresh start. Molly dives into the estate agents the following day, says she wants it to the conniving salesman, who basically says it's been sold. She then bursts into tears, and then this salesman makes a deal. She pays an extra $5,000 and it's hers, and he'll just say to the people who bought it, subject to signing contracts, but they were beaten to the post. The $5,000, of course, is his tut, and she's sucked in by this. A housewarming party, friends galore, happiness, and meeting an old school friend who comes with a female, but Molly can't recall him. Mal promises to help with decorating as he leaves the following morning. And the film then leads on to idyllic bliss, or so Molly thinks. Anyway, Mal helps out with the decorating, then moves in, and then the first downside. Molly comes home from work and the house has been burgled. Appears to be nothing missing. Then we get quite a memorable fornication, and then Molly shares with Mal the violent attack by a mob of drunks on her father one night, and they come into the house. Not quite sure whether they rape her, but it's the cause of the nightmares. So next visit to the shop, shares with Joe that the burglary. He offers to get a guide to fit an alarm, and Molly refuses again, having refused because of the extra charge with the estate agent. When she goes home, she notes that every house has an alarm about herself, so it's starting to play on her mind. After a night out with her friends and Mal, they return home, and the second burglary and the bike given to by her friends has been stolen. There's a pattern emerging. So this second burglary prompts Mal to move in. Molly then starts to get a little bit paranoid. She hasn't seen any neighbours. Friends arrive one day and they start talking about the burglar alarm settings, and all in all she just completely gets immersed in this idea that somebody is watching over her house, and it's an interesting side story, I guess. Molly's obsession about the neighbourhood leads her to make an invite to all the neighbours that she hasn't seen, although she did knock on one house door. She invites them all via a message, a sort of letter that she puts in their post boxes, to a sort of Christmas sort of drink party. Only problem is no one comes, and that ups her paranoia a little further. Christmas Eve, alarm goes off, Mal goes down, there's an intruder, there's a scuffle, the intruder leaves, but it sets off Mally's emotionally, psychologically. She's definitely spiraling into panic. Mal points out to the copper 3 burglaries in a month. And what are they doing about it? The copper then suggests that it may be personal, as there has been no other burglaries in the area. And of course there's the incident regarding the estate agent. So, putting my Inspector Cluedo outfit on, it could be the person who was gazumped over the sale of the house. What do you think? Are you following this Agatha Christie tale? Mal and Molly then start to exchange possibilities to explain why these burglaries are reoccurring. And of course Molly then starts to move down the road that it's possibly somebody showing vengeance towards Mal as he disappeared from the stream for a while. My scenario hasn't yet hooked in. Mal suggested that she should sell, but that's unlikely in the near future. So basically they're trying to do whodunits. The police are trying to do whodunits, and I'm trying to do whodunits, and hopefully you are as well as you watch this movie. So whatever the outcome is, I ain't going to tell you here. Is that a teaser? Possibly. Christmas morning, Molly's outside, and a couple emerge and jump in their car, but the movie's also reflecting the fact that people are very isolationist. They seem to not want to interact. They don't want to see any benefits from communal contacts. And I think the film's also trying to message this, that in the fast, action-packed societies that emerged and continued at the millennium, and then onto the internet, of course, that people have become more and more socially isolated. Even within the communities, there is not a community spirit. These new sort of fangled housing estates for yuppies did not provoke any communal interaction. They just got in their cars, went to their train stations, commuted into their cities, didn't talk to anybody when they were on the trains, came back, jumped in their cars, then arrived back at home and went inside their homes. No community interaction whatsoever. And Molly's desperate for this, and she's not finding it. And of course, alongside this is this irritating, frightening burglary scenario which she's trying to get her head round. Molly comes back after our walk around, goes back into the house, no alarm, and finds this foreigner who's allegedly repairing the window. Mal has apparently found him, but Molly is unconvinced and gets into a panic attack. Molly then changes the code. She suspects Mal now. He returns a bit later, can't disarm the fire alarm, and she focuses her anger at him. Or is she just paranoid? I like the concept of this movie where one can steadily move towards more and more fear of things that under normal circumstances would be seen as okay, just forgetfulness or whatever. I've experienced that to an extent about lack of trust of a person and how it can spiral quickly because of minor inflections. It certainly runs true with my current relationship, where I took absolutely ages to trust. That's what living in Thailand with women provokes, and you will read numerous stories of Thai girls fleecing foreign men. So there is a message in this film. Mal delivers a dog to get the potential burglars off this house, and then when she's walking the dog, she comes across the policeman who's investigated the burglaries and shares the story about the estate agent, the one that I has put forward. He says he'd bear it in mind, but didn't take it too seriously. And I guess this is how people get away with things. You know, it sounds a bit bizarre, so, but I'll bear it in mind. Or should he have actually go and see the guy? Well, there we are. Possibilities. Molly's friends from Dublin appear as she greets them with the dog, and then Molly echoes to the reason why she's put a for sale sign. The environment is very detached and very isolated. Just when I speculated 10 minutes earlier in the film. She's a city girl who likes the life and soul of the party, who likes the community, and the quietness has been replaced by how can I put it, fear, lack of sort of trust. New Year's Eve, party with her friends, end up pierced. Bit of a conjugal sort of activity with Mal, and then that dream. She hears the dogs barking in her dream. Eventually wakes in a complete panic attack. The dog's missing. She puts a poster together and then goes to the shop where Joe, who sent her his brother, twin, whatever, and there's an exchange about the Christmas present that Molly gave this alarm installed guy, and his brother sort of makes a comment, and it sets Molly into thinking that he might be responsible for the burglaries. She's starting to suspect everyone. Molly's back on the pills courtesy of her friends, who had a word with the psychiatrist who prescribed some pills. So Mal is at hand to give her the glass of water to swallow them. The film then collides with how anxiety develops into panic attacks and fear. Watch it. So, sorry. Now get to watch the movie. Quite a fantastic ending, I think.